let's get this going. All right, turn that off, that on. And hello! Alright, everything seems to be working. Welcome to Sketchalog. I'm your host, Soul King Xander, here to capture the likeness of heroes, villains, and everyone in between. My guest is a professional V-mommy, streamer, singer, jackalope of all trades, also my lovely manager. You can catch her on Twitch, currently partner pushing, and with her newest song cover, Your Idol on YouTube. Cynical, welcome to the logbook.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. It's a real honor, yeah, absolutely. So would you like to give the people some background on you for those who don't know you, or maybe what kind of content you make and how long you've been making it for?
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, hi, I'm Cynical. I'm an Asian dragon turned jackalope, professional V-mommy, shitpo to supreme. I am a literal jack of all trades. I sing, dance, draw, game, post shit post, you name it. I've probably done it at least once. I've been making content for about 4 years now. I think I just passed my 4-year streaming anniversary in September. And yeah, I play a lot of video games. I'm currently doing a lot of Pokemon right now. I'm doing a multi-generational Nuzlocke. And yeah, I've been loving the content game. And I also love helping other people with content creation as well.
Excellent. So what do you, like, I guess, specifically, how familiar are you with, like, VTubing in the wider community? Is this more of just a, have you kind of just slipped into this as, like, an anonymity thing with, like, making content and whatnot, or is this more of, like, a real passion for you?
I've always known that I wanted to be some kind of entertainer ever since I was a kid. I think it all started off when I was about like 6 years old. I had major depression, and my family didn't really know how to deal with it. What helped me deal with it was the fact that I could watch other content creators such as PewDiePie and Markiplier at the time. They were my favorite, and it helped me get through a lot of the tough shit that I was going through. And I knew that I wanted to do that too. But I did not like the idea of showing my face. I like my privacy, as open as I am. So I always kind of sort of leaned a little bit more into trying to do story time animation. However, I heard a cover from Bao, and I went to go check who Bao was, and then I saw that Bao had a VTuber model, and then that day I just took like a rabbit hole deep dive into what VTubers were, and I was like, holy shit, I can make content without having to show my face, and I could still be as expressive as I want to. Sign me up. And I just kind of took the dive. I was a little bit impulsive. I do not recommend this to anybody. Don't do what I did. I was very lucky to figure out that I did enjoy content creation as much as I like the idea of it. But yeah, that's kind of how I got to where I am today.
It was that Danny DeVito "I Get It" meme, right, when you first saw Bao and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely. So how did you go from sort of being a fan to coming up with the design you have now?
I've always been an artist before ever being a VTuber. Coming up with a design was a little bit tricky for me, if only because there were so many things I could use to represent myself. But in the end, I wanted to go with something that really showcased my roots. I'm from Hong Kong, Chinese, so I wanted to do an Asian dragon initially. But when I think about lung dragons, they're always depicted to be wise and all-knowing and benevolent, and I do not feel that I am this way. I am more akin to a rabbit, which is tiny and stressed enough to eat my kids and screaming and yelling and shitting myself. So I thought, how am I gonna be able to combine both together? And then I remembered that jackalopes exist, so here I am.
Rock you like a hurricane. I mean, yeah. I think that's very excellent design. And then, kind of, was the this kind of more like punk goth aesthetic? Did that sort of come with the territory, or was that like a thing you were always into? Or was the where did that sort of come from?
That's a good question. I actually didn't have this goth design until about a year ago. I started off with a slightly more moe design because it was cuter. It was what I thought would fit best, especially with the anime scene, since, you know, anime and VTubing is kind of like a one-on-one relationship.
Right.
And it's just what I was taught to be okay. I grew up as an only daughter in a very conservative Asian household.
Yeah.
So I was just not allowed to experiment on a lot of things. I was not allowed to play many video games. They controlled what kind of music I listened to. They controlled what I was allowed to do and not do, and that included fashion choice. I was just not allowed to experiment in that manner when I was living with my family. And I always knew I liked it, but I could never really say that I was punk or goth unless I could actually try it, you know?
Right.
So one day I told my husband, hey, I've always wanted to try goth stuff. Maybe when we have a little bit more money in the bank, we could like go out and do some like window shopping or something. And he immediately dropped everything he was doing in that moment to take me out to a mall to go shopping. And believe me when I tell you, I tried on a corset with fishnets and like a fishnet top hoodie, and I had never felt more comfortable wearing something I had never worn before. And that's when I kind of knew. I was like, okay, all right. And then I went back home and I went to go record some stuff with my model, and I felt, this felt a little bit out of place.
Right, yeah.
This just doesn't feel like me. Like, take a look at my model right now. Literally everything about this model physically is me outside of the fantasy elements, which is the antlers and the lock ears. And like, sure, the hair color, my hair color is not actually blue. I'm not rich enough to dye my hair entire head blue, otherwise I probably would. But I do have this hairstyle. I own like 90% of this outfit. I think the only thing I'm missing is the sweater and the matching thigh highs that I have. I even have the boots. I have the choker. I have the top. I have the arm warmers. I literally have everything. And I like having my model be as close to what I look like as possible. I used to have an ED, and that was really difficult. So when it came to my model, I'm so glad that I found this model artist, because a lot of my previous models, it just didn't sit right with me. I didn't look as proportionate as I did. And you know, I just look at my model and I see a lot of myself in me, so I obviously wanted to kind of look like me. Otherwise, it feels a little funny.
Right, yeah.
Given my history.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I did something kind of similar with my own design, so yeah, I totally relate to that. What is it that you kind of love seeing in like other VTubers' designs? Like, what's that kind of the thing that makes you sort of stop and take a look at something?
Most of the time, when like something that catches my eye, a lot of it really is color palette. If most of the time it's like accent colors. Like for you, when I look at you, it's your eyes. Your eyes have really poignant accent colors, and normally that is what draws me in, visually speaking. But I'm gonna be completely honest, and people are probably gonna hate me for saying this. I think asymmetry is oversaturated and overrated. And I see it all the time in VTuber models. It's like, sure, it's quote-unquote eye-catching because it's asymmetry. It's naturally gonna draw eyes, but I see it way too much. So now when I see a design that I kind of like, it normally leans to symmetrical. Like symmetrical designs. Like, sure, maybe I'm a bit of a hypocrite because like I have my arm resting on my hip and one that's relaxed, so that in of itself is asymmetry. But for this, I did try to keep myself a little bit more, I guess, quote unquote realistic with my fashion choices.
Yeah, totally. I think it was, oh my gosh, this is so bad, I don't remember. It was on Friday. Who was it? Friday. Shit. My guess on Friday, we'll put it here. They also mentioned in that asymmetry is kind of an overused sort of trope in VTubers' design. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, oh gosh, here we go again. I'm clicking between the reference images and my questions.
You're fine. Take your time.
Yeah. So, say you just woke up back to the day you decided to become a VTuber, and everything after that had all just been a big dream. Would you want to do anything differently?
Outside, I feel like just saying, like, I want to change my outfit to this design and start off with that, I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out. But I think realistically speaking, I would have probably worked much harder to start streaming with an actual PC, because when I started streaming, I was streaming on a MacBook Air 13-inch. And that was rough.
Yeah.
That was disgustingly rough. I don't like a lot of Apple products. I'm gonna be completely honest. The only reason why I have an iPhone is for tracking. That's literally it. And
yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
want to bother to buy a second phone. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just use an iPhone, whatever. It's part of my job. It's part of the territory. It's not something I can really avoid. But oh my god, streaming on an on an iMac was awful. And I did like gaming streams and art streams where I was running more than one program, and every single time I would even like not even running anything, just turning the damn thing on, it made the loudest whirring sound. And I had an in-window AC at the time, and
Right.
my iMac was louder than the in-window AC.
Damn.
It was awful. I would probably go like, all right, maybe I won't start streaming right away and just invest in a better computer.
Yeah. Okay. What do you like most about streaming?
Oh man, there's so much. I obviously went through tough shit. A lot of people say that like the funniest people in the world go through so much and they use humor to cope. My favorite part about being a creator is the fact that feeling that I had when I was 6, the feeling of watching like a PewDiePie video and just chuckling a little to get through to the next day, that being able to impart that feeling onto audience members is what brings me a lot of joy. Like, I say this to my community a lot. Like, sure, I do this for a living. It would be nice if they did like donate or gifted subs or whatever, but that's not the main reason why I do what I do. I like making people happy, and if I can make them happy after a long day, that's all the fulfillment I need. There was one time, I believe like this was actually quite early into my career. Somebody popped in to my stream. And I asked them, as I do with everybody, like, oh, thank you for popping by. How's your day? I hope it's been going well. And they told me honestly, like, it wasn't going well for them. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope like you hanging out in this stream will make you feel better. And if you still need to talk, my DMs are always open. You can check out my Discord. But I hope you feel better. And after that stream, I received a DM from this community member, and they were like, hey, I wanted to say thank you for being so kind to me and for the lovely warm welcome on on your stream. It means a lot. In truth, I was having a really shitty day, but you did make it a lot better. Thank you so much. Of course I did not take a screenshot of that, because like that's private information. He told me a lot of other things that I will not repeat, but that message will like live on in my brain forever. And anytime I felt like a little bit down and burnt out, and I felt like I needed to take a step back, and I have forgotten why I did this in the first place, I would remember that moment, and it pushes me and continues to make me into a better content creator.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I love that. Is there anything that you wish you could do more of? Either you don't have like the means to do it right now, or you don't have the time to do it, anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a very physical person. Doesn't seem that way because I sit on my ass for 4 hours every single time I stream.
Right.
But I do like moving around a lot. I did a lot of sports competitively, like nationally and like provincially. One of the things that I did do was K-dance, and I used to do that competitively. It's been a major dream of mine to be able to get a 3D setup and a 3D rig to be able to do dance with me streams so I can teach other people to do so. I just feel that like dance is a really healthy way to exercise, and it's also just really fun. The reason why I've always wanted to do like 3D dance with me streams is purely for the sake of if I ever go to a convention and I see a community member, I can record us doing the dance together and make like a compilation video.
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to do that. And like dance really isn't all that hard. I swear it's not that hard. It just takes a practice. That's all it does. That's everything. That's everything in the world. It just takes practice.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I would love to be able to teach people to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, here we love teaching people how to do things. So yeah, absolutely, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say is your least favorite part about streaming?
Oh boy. You know, just as much as I have a lot that I love about streaming, there's also a lot that I dislike about streaming. However, the dislike towards streaming, I suppose, is not exactly streaming, if that makes sense. It's what it comes after the streaming. What comes after offline time happens. I know it really doesn't seem that way, but I really hate networking. My social battery is so low. I save it for my clients and like a little bit for myself, and like that's it. I hardly ever try and network because my social battery is really small. It doesn't look like it right now, and I know it's kind of ironic considering my job is to talk to strangers on the internet for hours at a time, but I am a major introvert. After streams, I need to like sit down and relax for at least an hour before doing anything else. And networking is always so difficult. I am very good at reading people, like vocally, like auditorily, and like physically. I'm not good at reading people on the internet.
Right.
It has always been a big flaw of mine. I've been working on it. It especially does not help that I was not allowed to be on the internet outside of like doing research when I was doing my growing years. So my sociability is like, but it's something that has to be done, obviously, and it's something that I'm happy to continue doing, especially if it's for other people. Not me. I don't think I would ever do it for myself. I would do it for my clients. I'll do it for my clients all day, any day. I won't do it for myself because I find it absolutely exhausting.
Right. Then I guess this might be the answer to the next part of this question is what is it that you wish you didn't have to do, or like if you could pay somebody to do this for you, you would do that.
That is a good question. If I had the money and there was an opportunity to pay somebody to do something that I wouldn't need to do, I think it would be to run consistent diagnostics on my PC and tell me what to update and or fix and or replace, because sure, my job is to be on the internet, but I'm not tech savvy for shit.
Right.
My PC has caused me a lot of grief in the past. My community would know my motherboard literally exploded this summer.
Oh no.
And yeah, it exploded because apparently the motherboard screws were not properly screwed in, and it would constantly circuit itself.
That'd do it. Yep.
Yeah. I did not know that, obviously, because when I look at it, I'm like, hey, it's fine. The motherboard's on there. Far be it for me to actually see if there were pins, and I didn't know that it needed screws. So it blew up. Having that being said, having somebody to run diagnostics on my PC, like a doctor, just checking up on it, going like, I think you may need to replace something here. Maybe you need a little bit of thermal paste or a little bit of coolant here. Maybe you need to update this driver. And I'll be like, okay, that would make things so much easier, because I know absolutely nothing about my PC.
Yeah.
I know nothing other than it is big and it tells me the temperature on the display.
Right.
Like, that's it.
you need
And if that
a
number
tech
goes
support
up higher
guy.
than a certain number, that's when I gotta start worrying.
Right. You need a Sayu to your monarch. Is what I seem to be getting from that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, their relationship is great. I wish I had that relationship. I mean, like, sure, I lean on my husband a lot for this kind of stuff, but he is also just about as clueless as I am with the PC. He has raccoon hands, so he can do the fixing. It's just that he also needs somebody to look at it and go, oh, this is wrong, and then he can go ahead and fix it. We just need to know what is wrong.
Yeah, something is wrong. We just aren't sure yet.
Yeah, and I would prefer it if I didn't have to, like, break down my PC before a stream to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, I am very lucky to have a friend who is, like, the PC guy, or at least, like, to me he is. Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, I remember my computer was crashing a couple of times, and I was just like, hey man, can you just, like, take a peep at it? And he's like, and like, he didn't see anything wrong with it, but still, it's just, like, nice to be able to just have a guy for that.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a question that I asked to people when I first started out, and I've kind of been, like, a bit iffy on removing it or not, but I think you're probably the best person to ask this question.
Okay.
Do you think a major social media presence is necessary for growth, and what do you do to try and stay on top of it?
Right. Answer to the initial question, yes. It is absolutely imperative. It is exceptionally important. It is the unfortunate case of being a content creator. Being able to upkeep your social media presence is very key, so that you can not only for you to be able to keep up with what's going on around you, but to make sure that you are present in what's going on around other people as well. I find that a lot of people, the biggest hurdle that most people have when it comes to maintaining your content creation space and presence is consistency. A lot of people, but the main reason why a lot of people have a problem with it is because when they hear consistency, they hear, oh, I gotta do it every day. No, that is a misconception. That is quantity. You don't need to do something every single day. It is ideal, of course, because the internet moves at light speeds, but you don't need to do something every day. You just need to be consistent with what you do and when you do it. You could have a burst of energy and be posting, like, every single day for a month. But then if one day you crumble and you don't post every single day, the algorithm's going to move on without you, because what you are doing when you are making posts, when you're making videos, when you're going live, you're training the algorithm to be able to follow your pattern and to be able to push your content however they see fit based on those patterns. If they see that you're not posting, but they still try and push you, but there's nothing to push, they'll stop pushing you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to be able to consistently feed the machine. You don't have to feed it a lot. You just have to feed it consistently.
It's like working out.
Absolutely, absolutely. You want that. A lot of people want to chase that, like, a big boom that can happen sometimes when you're making content. Like, one day you post a really funny ass short, and then all of a sudden, oh my god, you jump like 5K in followers. Everybody kind of chases that, but I find big boom growths to be exceptionally unstable, because you get a lot of people that are attracted to what made the big growth. But that's not what you do all the time. And when they realize it, they'll leave, and they won't gain much interest from what you do. Consistent growth is always key, because it makes a very solid foundation.
Right. Okay.
It will take a while, though.
Yeah.
It will take a while. It always does. Notoriously speaking, if you were to take a look at all the big streamers and big YouTubers right now, they did not get big until about, like, year 7, year 8 into their career. And most of the people that you see right now that gain a big boom, newsflash, most of them have already done content creation before, and they rebranded, and they already know what to do. They already know what works for them in the algorithm, and they apply it to their new brand and to their new account. And then that's how you see the big boom. And I see a lot of people get discouraged by this. You're like, oh yeah, this person, like, they just started and they're so much bigger than I am. And I look at it and I go, okay, well, chances are they probably did content elsewhere and it worked for them and they just simply rebranded. And most of the case it is. So if you feel discouraged when you see somebody who started off later than you, but is bigger than you, just remember that. It is very important. Don't get too discouraged.
Right. Yeah. That's a really great insight there. I'd expect no less, honestly. Yeah. So I know you're currently on a sort of a Pokemon binge right now. Do you have any games that are kind of at the top of your streaming bucket list?
Oh, I am a huge fan of playing party games. I feel like it's a great way to be able to get to know people. My current binge with Pokemon is actually part of my Virgin Gamer series. It is a series where I play games that I was not allowed to play before, but I am doing now that everybody loves.
Right.
I've always wanted to do a Pokemon related Virgin Gamer series because I never played Gen 1, 2, or 3. And then I haven't played like Scarlet and Violet, but I played everything else in between.
Right.
I've always wanted to take the time to appreciate where Pokemon was versus where they are now. So that's why I'm doing a multi-generational Nuzlocke. But typically for my Virgin Gamer series, I just simply play games that are important to gaming history as a whole. That I haven't played. Games that I have played on this series would be like Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, and then Halo Master Chief Collection, and then Half-Life. I need to restart that because I had to stop my playthrough because my motherboard blew up and we lost a lot of momentum. So like I started my Pokemon stuff in lieu of that, and then eventually I'll get back to Half-Life again. But it's those kinds of games that were important, that bring nostalgia, and I can then review them through the lens of an adult that had never played them before, or may sometimes even never heard of before, and provide critique. Whereas when other people would, they would be like more or less clouded by nostalgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any games that are blacklisted from your channel?
Oh, blacklisted games? I think the only one I can really say is blacklisted, because I won't do them live ever, is Jackbox. I'm sorry. I love Jackbox. It's a really fun party game, but it attracts way too many trolls. I will never deal with that. Right. I don't know why that game in particular always attracts the trolls. There are other games like Gartic Phone, and of course there are other people that do community stuff, but none of them are ever trolled on harder than Jackbox. They always seem to attract the worst actors. And while I love it, and I would have loved to do like a live stream with Jackbox, I'm not taking that chance.
Right. Okay.
I'm not taking that chance, and I'm not gonna ruin my mod's attention span with having to keep up with a massive number of people that are trying to get into the game just to cause trouble.
Right.
I would feel bad for them. So I don't know. It would probably be a game that I would just play only on Discord. But yeah, definitely Jackbox blacklisted on my stream.
Okay. So I think I can guess who one of these is, but you mentioned her name earlier. But do you have an Oshi, and who are they?
Oh man, I feel really embarrassed when people ask me, because everyone goes like, "Oh, who's your Oshi?" And I have so many people that I look up to.
Sure.
So, and you know how people get, they're like, oh yeah, you can only have one Oshi. That's incorrect. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You can have multiple Oshis.
Yeah.
I think that like in the VTubing space, like strictly within the VTubing space, I would say right now, if I had to choose one, it would be Chibidoki, because I love her chaotic energy.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, the two most important things when you're thinking about being a VTuber is your mic quality and your VTuber model. And both of those for Chibi are absolutely scuffed, but it matches her brand so well. I adore her and her shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to ask me for like content creator as a whole, not just in the VTubing sphere, then I think I would have to say Doug.
Okay.
Doug's content is hilarious. I love doing crowd control, chat things. I've been getting into coding as of late. I really love involving my chat, and Doug's content is all about involving his chat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny as shit. I would love to be able to bring that to the VTubing space, because a lot of people don't realize how valuable and hilarious chat interactivity is. Like, chat is more than just being funny with you and making jokes at you.
Yep.
They can create content for you. Trust, I've seen it happen. I have seen a stream where Doug had just coded, like made a code for Mario Party and had his chat beat the shit out of each other, and he was just watching them like a scientist looking at lab rats running through a maze. And I think that alone, that concept is hilarious.
Yeah, totally. Another is, and there was another like VTuber that I heard about. Maybe not a VTuber, maybe even just like a streamer, but they have a lot of that like sort of chat interaction stuff like that. But I cannot remember their name like for the life of me. I can't. I just like it's drawing a blank for me. They kind of have like a simple like PNG like thing, but they have like a lot of stuff that is very like they have like games, or they have like their chat can like be like RPG members in like a JRPG or something like that. But I just can't remember off the top of my head who they were. But yeah, all that chat interaction stuff is very is super cool. And I know it was Puddle. I do remember she was a guest as well. But she mentioned being really interested in that sort of chat interaction stuff too. But yeah. Next question. Who would you say is your dream collab partner or partners, and what would you want to do with them?
Oh man, that is incredibly difficult for me to answer. I have a lot of content ideas, but I think honestly right now I would like to be able to collab with Badger. I'm sure this is gonna get back to him at some point, whether by me or by somebody else, but I would love to do a stream with Badger where he teaches me how to play Battlefield 6, because I suck ass. And I love learning. I just suck ass. He has actually asked me to play Battlefield 6 with him before, and I was just so embarrassed. I was like, dude, don't ask me. I'm so disgustingly ass. And he was like, no, it can be really fun. Don't worry, I'll teach you. I'm like, I don't know if you're ready for that. You're gonna be more of a teacher than a player, and I don't know if that's gonna be fun for you. I might circle back on that in the future, but I think as of right now, I think like being able to learn how to do things from other people live on my stream is fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is a blast. That's speaking from the very little amount of streaming experience I have. Speaking of dream collabs, do you have a dream collab that you'd want to see between two other creators, like from the perspective of a viewer?
Ooh, that's a good one. Dream collabs. So this is collabs that have not been done before. Honestly, I think it would be really cool if a whole bunch of ocean themed VTubers were just hanging out together like as if they were in an aquarium. This is not like anything specific, but I think it would be really funny considering the amount of times a lot of ocean themed VTubers go like, oh wow, you look like Shy Lily, oh you look like Bao, oh you look like Abiko. Like yeah, personally you should shut up. But secondly, I think it's really funny Because I don't know, maybe I'm the kind of person that looks at something that could be turned into an insult, but change that on its head so that it becomes something funny instead. Like
Right.
I'm a bit of a comedian myself, and I like being able to make fun of situations so that they become less serious and more of a joke on the people that are actually genuinely making fun of them.
Right.
So doing something like that, I think would be really awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like just the V aquarium. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you could have like stuff where you'd have Shaq can like throw in like fish food or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, for like bits or something. That'll be great.
Yeah. Next, who would you put on the Mount Rushmore of VTubing? The 4 VTubers that you think kind of stand at the pinnacle, or like the most impactful, or the most iconic. That yeah.
Okay. Iron Mouse for sure. I don't know anybody who wouldn't put Iron Mouse up on there. Iron Mouse has done so much for the community.
Yep.
And has genuinely done her best, despite some of the bad PR that VTubing has gotten as of late. Iron Mouse really tries, and I feel like that's exceptionally admirable. I would definitely put her up on there. Shy Lily, because I think the way that she handles drama is really funny and very admirable. I think that a lot of people should handle it that way. And by that way, I mean no bullshit, cut and dry. And then after addressing it, just simply moving on. Like, I feel like a lot of people would benefit to learn from that. Whereas a lot of people look at drama and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to interact with it at all, which is totally fine. Honestly, I probably recommend it because not a lot of people can handle drama. But at the very least, Shy Lily knows when to put her foot down.
Yeah.
And do so in a rather respectful manner. That still gets her point across. And I feel like that is exceptionally difficult for a larger VTuber because no matter what, larger VTubers are put on a very tight scope. Everybody is looking to them, waiting for them to make the biggest mistake or even a small mistake and then try and snowball that into an even bigger one. I feel that a lot of big creators get that pressure that they have to be perfect all the time. They cannot share their opinions, but Shy Lily doesn't do that. In fact, she does quite the opposite. She shares them very loudly, but she does so very respectfully. And that I greatly admire, and I feel like a lot of people can learn from that. I think the next person that I would put up on Mount Rushmore, V Rushmore, would be 𝐕𝐌𝐽. She's gone through a lot of adversity, and she's exceptionally creative in what she does. She has a knack of being able to utilize as many assets as possible to make her streams exceptionally immersive. And a lot of people don't realize that it's so much easier to do than they think because we are literally on an online medium. We have access to like everything on the internet and under the sun. We could turn our streams into like a forest one day with like background noises and like animals overlaying on top of each other. We could literally take our heads off our models and put them on top of a maid or a butler outfit and simply just service chat the entire day. And 𝐕𝐼𝐽 does this very, very well, seamlessly, and with such small amount of time. I know this from experience because there was one time that we had a collab and she was a little bit late, but she set everything up in under like 5 minutes. She is a mastermind with that. I greatly admire her for it. And I think the last person that I would put up on there would have to be my friend Yomi. Speaking of adversity, she has gone through a lot, much more than I can ever really say, and much more than I think anybody really deserves. But Yomi is so diligent in spite of that. She is exceptionally creative and she utilizes the online medium exceptionally well. She does a lot of chat integrations, and even though I don't really play much of a character, Yomi does that, but Yomi does that really well, while still being true to herself. which I feel a lot of people could really learn from.
Right.
So yeah, I think that would be like my 4 VTubers I'd put up on there.
Excellent, and definitely like a good 4 picks there. So for someone out there who might feel discouraged, maybe only getting 2 to 3 viewers in stream at a time, what do you think they could do to either grow past that or just be content with it?
All right. So there are 2 things you could do. And I tell this to my clients. I know you can attest to this.
Yep.
There are 2 things that you can do in that situation if you want to grow your viewership. 1, you try and grow your community by focusing more on community-related things that you genuinely want to do, and increasing activity on your Discord, increasing community games, coding, chat integrations, mix it up, all that kind of stuff. Or, alternatively, you do what I call low-hanging fruit streams, which in this case would be like, design review streams, or tier list streams, or anything that involves a lot of people interacting with you, because chances are people are gonna want to watch those kinds of streams because they want to see how involved they are. Hold on, I was about to burp, but I couldn't burp. We as people are social, and we as people like to see and feel included. This is not a jab at anybody. This is just kind of how human nature is. Especially for our jobs on the internet, we kind of rely on that. So doing those quote-unquote low-hanging fruit streams does increase viewership quantity size, but they may not stay for long. If that is all that you do, and then you pivot to something else that you genuinely want to do, your viewership is probably not going to follow you there. What you want to be able to do, and the best advice that I can give, is that you don't just hit the live button and then that's it. There's so much more to being a content creator than just hitting the live and making a schedule. You have to make videos. It is important that you diversify your platform. That is the best way to get more consistent growth. To take it from me, I know it is exceptionally expensive and time consuming to be able to get videos out onto your channels. It is really hard. And a lot of times I see a lot of smaller creators hit that glass ceiling where they need to get over it. They already see it. They want to try and push through, but seriously, the monetary requirements for getting a video edited consistently onto your YouTube platform is so hard. It is tough, and I only got to that point only recently, and I've been doing this for 4 years. Some people do this for longer. Most people do this for longer. I'm lucky that I got 4 years. It's a really hard grind, but knowing that there is so much more that you can do, just make sure that when you are feeling discouraged, that you take a step back. Don't immediately jump into doing content creation right away. Just take a step back. Think about what you want to do. Have a plan. Have a direction. Is there something that you want to do more than anything? Oh, you want to play Halo? Okay. Maybe you can try and integrate your chat with Halo. There's crowd control Halo, cursed Halo. Lots of people love that. There you go. There's something for you to do. And it'll be funny as shit, so you can turn that into a video. It kind of turns into a self-feeding machine at that point. But it's a matter of getting there. And I know that's really discouraging. But to be honest, and most of the time, the people that stay in it the longest tend to succeed the most. Because at about like the 2-3 year mark, most people that started at the same time as you will drop. And as unfortunate as that is, that just means it's more viewership for you.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep going.
And hey, you got all that for free, chat. So that's pretty good.
That is true. It is. This is granted. This is blanket advice. The viewers that are watching this, I do not know you. I do not know your content. I cannot give you curated advice. Xander gets my curated advice.
Yeah.
But this is good blanket advice to follow.
Yeah. So, you can probably guess when this question was first written, but also how it has continued being relevant over this year. beyond the more obvious issues, like dramatic behind-the-scenes behavior or like corporate meddling or something like that, what do you think the VTuber community needs improvement on?
Do I have to choose one thing?
I mean, like, no.
I don't want to sit here and rant your ear off for like an hour. As much as I love VTubing and I love the medium, I love that I've met so many wonderful people such as Xander here. The space is really toxic. It's really, to me, I think it's really bad. If there's one thing, just one thing this Christmas we could give to the VTuber community as a whole for everybody to just do, is to communicate. Communicating. It is so important, and I feel it is lost on so many people because of the grind set. People want to be able to put everything out there on the internet for everybody to see, get their clicks, get their views. We need to stop doing that, man. Not everything needs to be a Google Docie. Not everything needs to be out on full display, waving your dirty laundry around. We need to reel it in. We are all people. Behind our silly fantasy VTuber models, we're all people. We all go through shit. There's no need to air out petty drama on the internet. If it's like really serious allegation shit, of course, tell people so that they are aware, especially if it is from like a consistent actor that has not changed their ways after like the first 3 times. But like, I'm just so tired of seeing Google documents that are like, oh, and they were being mean to me and they didn't talk to me for like a month and they collab with somebody that I kind of dislike, so I don't like them anymore. Everybody should not like them either. It's like, we don't need that.
Yeah,
We don't need that, please. Oh my god, please leave that in high school. Most of the VTubers I know are adults. We're all tired of it. Let's not do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hydrogen God just the same thing. Just talk to each other. It's like that is probably the most common response I've gotten to that answer, and it is very indicative of just like how ridiculous things are getting, or have gotten, I suppose, is the better way to say that.
It's gotten really bad. I would say that the point where it got really bad is unfortunately the Cinder Docky.
Yep.
That's when I've seen like a blow up in the number of Google Docies that have been posted in the community. Like when Cinder's document dropped, the weeks after following that incident, I had never seen so many people just posting Google documents, and part of me is going like, maybe they were serious, but then I open it up and I see how unserious they were in their allegations, and I was like, you're doing this for clicks. Please.
Yeah.
We don't need this. We don't need this. Oh my god. You don't need the $20 from Twitter Blue. That's not necessary. You can get it by posting a really cool short instead. How about we post content, since we're all content creators, you know? It's part of the name. Yeah. It's part of the job. We don't... Google Docs are not entertaining. Also, they hurt my eyes.
Yeah, just too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
Next question. What's your experience with conventions, and what's your favorite part about them?
Okay. I have never been to a convention physically.
Okay.
Ever. Mm-hmm. I wish I could, but when I was living with my family, I was not allowed to go because they viewed it as exceptionally cultish. And then now that I'm not living with my family, I'm too poor.
I mean...
I'm too poor to afford to go.
They're not entirely wrong, but...
They're not wrong. I can't say that they're wrong. But, like, come on, man. It's an anime convention. At least it's not about, I don't know, stocks or something. I would love to be able to go to a convention. I think the first convention I would like to be able to physically go to would be Offkai. I think that would be a nice convention to start with, since all my friends are there. And I love being able to meet people, which is kind of the point of going to a convention. I think so far, though, I have been on robo meet and greets. I've been on virtual meet and greets. And my favorite thing so far is partnering with the VTuber Research Club and renting one of their robots so that I could tour the convention myself.
Yeah.
John Loves Anime is a dear old friend of mine, and the last time he took me around, he got me a couple of goodies and shipped them over, and it's like I was actually there.
Yeah.
Except my feet were not sore, and I was not forced into cosplay that would make me sweat around hundreds of people that would probably cause me anxiety. So that's great.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend it. In fact, next year when it's con season, I'm getting you one.
Ooh, that's exciting.
You need to experience it. It's so lovely. Sure, I have nothing to base this on because I have never actually been to a convention, so I can't say whether digital or like in person is better or whatever. I can't make that comparison. But I will say that a lot of people that I did talk to at the conventions, when I asked them how they were doing, they're like, oh yeah, my feet are sore. Oh yeah, I'm sweaty. Oh yeah, people smell. And I think about them like, I don't experience all the negative things while being in a robot. So maybe I'm getting best of both worlds here.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
I'm not physically there, but John still helps me get merch from stands, and I don't smell stinky people. My feet are not sore. I'm not tired. This is great.
Yeah, honestly, like, sounds like a pretty amazing deal.
Yeah. Oh, or to purchase an expensive plane ticket or hotel.
Yeah.
Right. That's too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, when they tell me like advice for going to conventions, because a lot of people know that I have never been to one physically, they're like, oh, you gotta save up money for a plane ticket and hotel. Not to mention the fact that you have to save up money for the ticket, as well as extra expenses for Artist Alley stuff and or event stuff. Not to mention you gotta be able to buy food. And on top of the 5 things that I just mentioned you gotta spend money on, I need to look for somebody to take care of my dog. I don't trust dog hotels anymore. I tried it once and he came back with fleas.
Ugh.
I'm never trusting that again.
Yeah, no. Oh my
That was
gosh.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have been lucky that there are quite a lot of conventions kind of within driving range of where I am. But the hotel thing is still pretty. It's not as bad, but it still like is an expense that's like, you know, if I did have somebody I knew in the city, I would stay with them, even if it was like sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm going to MagFest in January, and I like to offer up friends to be on like an iPad, like on the I carry around like an iPad with the VTube Studio on it, and they just like.
Yeah.
I'm the robot for them.
That's so nice of you to do, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I figure if I'm already going, then I might as well, you know.
Yeah.
So, I guess being someone who has experience with meet and greets, what would you say is, A, your favorite part about them, and B, what would you say you would want to do as, like, the ideal meet and greet?
I love being able to meet my community members the most. It is, it's always so flattering when I'm doing a meet and greet, and like, sure, like sometimes I don't see the line, and then somebody pops in and they're wearing my hoodie, and then we nerd out a little bit. I don't accept compliments easily. That is very difficult because I never got them before I started VTubing.
Yeah.
So compliments are really funny, but it grounds me a lot. I also meet a lot of people that go, hey Sin, you inspired me to do content creation, or you inspired me to be honest about my community about like my relationship, and they all love me now. And I'm like, this is so sweet. I want to cry and stop the meet and greet and just cry. I think honestly, the ideal meet and greet that I would like to do, while I've never done this and obviously would like to try, is going to do so in real life. I would love to be able to meet my fans in real life, and to be able to hand out little like enamel pins that said I met Cynical on them, and then you can put it on your shirt. Like the first 50 people or something.
Right. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So this is a question you've asked me already before, but that's just because you are my manager. But where would you like to be in like a year or even like 5 years time?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think within a year, I would love to be able to get Twitch partner. A YouTube partner is now, for some reason, after Labubu, is mildly within reach.
Nice.
They love Labubu on there. My Labubu shorts like took off. But Twitch partner would be nice.
Yeah.
Definitely not something I would recommend most people try until they're averaging at about like the 40 CCB range. Don't do it, guys. It is really tiring, trust me. You only want to do it when you're kind of close. I think hopefully in like 5 years, right? 5 years, ideally, I am living in my own house and I have an office space that's big enough for me to have a 3D kit so that I can do 3D streams. I think that 3D VTubing is a insane medium. I think that it's very slept on because 2D VTubing is kind of the quote-unquote traditional VTubing. This is kind of where VTubing started. So when people think of VTubers, they think of 2D. But 3D VTubers tap into doing so many things that 2D just can't. And I want to be able to do that. Such as like workout with me streams or dance with me streams. Or hell, like VRC meetups. That would be so much fun. But in order for me to do that, I need to get a bigger house. And I also need to live in my own house and not bother my landlord who won't let me put up the trackers for any 3D rig.
Right.
You know, I don't own this place, so I can't like screw it into the side. I can only like maybe tape it up. And if I tape it up there, it's not safe and it could break and fall. So 5 years from now, own my own house, get an office that's big enough for a 3D rig and do 3D streams. Hell
yeah. And then, do you have any kind of outlandish or even selfish goals for your streaming career? Anything that's kind of like, you know, you don't really want to talk about it because it's like kind of that sort of thing of seeming too selfish, but like anything like that?
I think the only thing that I would count as a goal that would be seen as selfish is to be able to do this comfortably full time. Like I already said, I really don't care if people donate or don't donate. That's not really my goal. But if I'm able to sustainably do this full time and I don't have to worry about money, I would obviously be able to do this more, which is what I want. But I guess that would count as like my only selfish thing.
Any any big brand deals that you'd want to have done? Any like big companies you want to work with? Anything like that? Like a GSupps cup or flavor, anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to be I would love to have a GSupps flavor in a cup. I think my community has fantasized about this quite a bit. I think they would love to get like a flavor. I told them that if I were to ever have a GSupps flavor, it would be like apple cider flavored, and I'd probably call it Jackalope Piss because it'd be yellow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would be yellow. I'll call it Jackalope Piss or something like that.
Obviously, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Or have like a chocolate AFK flavor that's I'm shitting myself, because I say that a lot on my stream. I say that a lot of the time. I'm shitting myself. I'm gonna shit. You're gonna make me shit.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. What would you say is your hottest VTuber take?
Hottest VTuber take?
Yep.
What would be the hottest? You know what? Sure, I have one. PNG tubers are not as appealing as VTubers. They can be appealing if you make it work. Let me preface that. PNG tubing can work. You just have to make it as immersive and integrative as possible on your setup, which takes a lot of work. You need your PNG to fit a scene. You need your chat to be able to fit into that 2D scene. But let's be real. People like seeing movement. Movement is what people enjoy. It's why when you take a look at more popular like PNG tuber streams, you see that their backgrounds are constantly moving. It's like a GIF. It's like looping. Everything is quite literally animated on their scenes. It's because while their PNG tuber doesn't move all that much, everything else around them does. And you kind of want to make sure of that, because everybody likes movement. Especially now, in this day and age, when people have the attention span of a mosquito. Having a live 2D model, be it like pay to use, free to use, or a custom one, like the one that you and I have.
Yep.
This is, like, people want to be able to see this. People enjoy seeing this. And this is obviously going to be more appealing than a PNG bouncing up and down and lighting up. Not many people are going to say it, because a lot of people like to try and be inclusive and go like, oh yeah, VTubing is for everybody. It is for everybody, don't get me wrong. But people with models have a much higher advantage than people with simply a PNG. And that's just kind of how it is.
Right.
People can hate on me. I'm sure people will hate on me for saying that. But it's like, whatever, that's my opinion. And if you were to take a step back and look at it, you'd find that it's probably true.
Yeah, I definitely think that's that's not like an insane thing to say when it comes to this whole medium that we're in. All right, next up is the content lightning round. In this segment, I'll give you a popular kind of VTuber content, and I just want you to give me your gut feeling about them, either from the perspective of creating that content or from the perspective of making that content. Are you ready?
All right.
Okay, starting off with reaction content.
Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it. If only because I guess from a perspective of me making them, I can only go, wow, that's so funny, like so many times. I would find that tiring.
Right. Okay.
To me, I also find like content like that's a little bit lazy. Just a little bit.
Right. Next up, music, like song covers and like original music.
Yes, I love it. I have been getting into it as of late, and now I feel so powerful because I listen to a song I like and I go, I can cover this. Oh yeah, I can cover this. I will do it. And I think it's really fun.
Right, yeah. The various marathons, your subathons, donathons, followathons, those kinds of things.
Really fun. Can be a little bit tiring at times. Especially for uncapped subathons. This is why I've never done them, because I know my community could try and keep me there for like months. They could genuinely keep me there for months. That's why I'm kind of horrified.
Yeah, I know Alara and Melissa the Tiefling are both in like going on to like a year now for their subathons.
Yeah, right. My community members are gremlins. I know they can do it, and they scare me.
Awful, but
and we would. Yeah, see, there you go. I'm horrified.
They're keeping you in check. They're trying to. Yeah, I get it. ASMR content.
Ooh, really interesting. I don't think I'd be able to do it because of my voice. I feel that my voice always works better at louder decibels. My screaming, my community loves it when I scream. I don't think I can do ASMR well, but I do find it a very interesting phenomena.
And next we're getting into the sort of gaming sub round. So starting off with competitive games.
I'm a really competitive person, so I'm all for competitive games. I even love hosting contests, so there's that. And that's how I feel about them.
Speedrunning content.
Ooh, speedrunning content. You're asking me this as I'm a speedrunner for Lethal Company, Repo, and Peak right now. Yes, absolutely. I love seeing all the fails, but being able to see that win, that PB at the end, that's peak. Literally.
Yeah. Challenge runs. I mean, obviously you're doing Nuzlocke right now, but also stuff like, playing Elden Ring with using only like a certain build or...
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love challenge runs. It makes games so much more interesting and much harder than it is. Maybe that's also part of my competitiveness, but that's how I feel. I love them. I love challenge.
Sure. You mentioned this also. Party games, stuff that's kind of been unfortunately referred to as friend slop. I think like Repos, Peaks, Lethal Companies, those kinds of games.
Yeah, love them. Best way to get to know people. It's the best way to test your potential friendship.
And then finally, full play is just like going through the entirety of a game over the course of a stream or a couple streams.
Full playthroughs. They can be really helpful. They make great YouTube like analysis videos if you were to go into that. However, be warned, some people might get bored with it because you play it all the time, and not many people want to stick around for the game of choosing.
Right. Okay. And that is the lightning round. Good job. Congratulations.
Yay!
Next up, we have the lore questions. You'll have to bear with me on these because they are still a bit new. Do you prefer VTuber lore to be more simple or more detailed?
I like VTuber lore to be more simple. Sure, I might sound like a hypocrite because my VTuber lore is based off of me and my life. It's very much tied into my lore. And that's a little bit complicated because my life's a little bit complicated. But I do adore silly, simple lore. Like the kind of lore that's just, oh, I woke up one day, I was a worm in the ground, and I wished one day to be a person, and now I am a person with the brain of a worm, and I don't know how to do any other job than stream. Like that kind of silly lore, it speaks to me, but that's only because I come from the perspective of not necessarily needing a lore or a character to play when you are streaming. I'm simply just me.
And then how do you feel about the idea of VTubers being in character, kind of tying their streaming personalities with their lore?
I feel that it can be done. I won't personally do it because I find it really difficult to act like something that I'm not, especially for long periods of time. Really props to the people that can actually do it because that is exceptionally difficult. But I don't find a need to do it. I like being very genuine, and as much as I like hiding my face from the internet because I like my privacy, I very much think that if you can do it, by all means. If you can't, don't worry, don't sweat about it too much.
You gave us kind of the elevator pitch for your lore already, which I appreciate. And kind of what inspired it, but did you have everything kind of planned out at first, or did you have you been kind of adding to it as you've been going?
I haven't. Most of my lore right now is kind of down pat because my lore is so closely tied to what happened in real life for me. It's like life. I'm literally living my lore right now.
Right.
Except I'm not a dragon jackalope thing. So I'm just kind of building off of it as I go.
Right. Okay. And then that's all of that. I do have a few questions for. I remember when I asked you, said you were in an agency or a couple of agencies, right? Was that? Yeah. So I have a few questions about like sort of VTuber agencies in general. First things first. What are some things that an agency provides that you wouldn't think of but are a huge help?
That's a really hard question considering that it is one of my more long-term goals that when I'm close to retiring that I want to be able to start a VTuber company of my own so that even though I won't be making content or at least content as frequently, I could still help people get into it myself.
Right.
So I have taken a lot of time to think about what a company can provide and should provide. I feel like a lot of people would be surprised but also find exceptionally useful the making of graphics. It's a very simple thing, right? But in a company, if you were to go like, oh, I want to do this kind of content, I think it would be great and really, really awesome that the company hears that and goes, oh, okay, here's a little promo graphic for you. And everybody loves looking at images. Everybody loves looking at properly layouted items. It is a visual thing. It is what attracts the eye. And being able to have a graphic for literally everything that you do is exceptionally useful to boost you on the algorithm, not just because it is a pretty thing to look at and it's something that people naturally gravitate towards, but a lot of cases, especially on Twitter, when you're posting with an image, it boosts you on the algorithm tremendously.
All right. And then what are some things that more inexperienced VTubers should keep in mind when applying to an agency?
Okay. This also has a little bit of tea, all right?
Oh, yeah?
But this is the best advice I can give to people that are looking to join an agency. For the love of God, people, number one, do your research on the company. The company might be new and shiny and so appealing, but please do not let that bright, shiny new company cloud your judgment, and just simply do your research. Find out who owns the company. What kind of experience does the CEO or HR, what experience do they have to be able to provide and help you get to where you want to be? Secondly, and I touched on this a little bit for my first point, why are you even joining a company in the first place? Joining a company is a business relationship. Make sure that as much as you know what you can provide to a company, think about what a company can provide for you. I've had a whole lot of people come to me and ask me, hey, should I join this company? And I ask them, oh, okay, what can the company provide for you that you don't already have already? Sometimes they can think of answers, and sometimes the answers they give me, I'm like, okay, you can do this yourself by using this website. You don't need a company for that. Most of the time, a lot of people don't really need a company. But sometimes a company can be useful for things that you can't otherwise get, like consistently edited videos, graphics, events, convention opportunities, sponsorships. But that is what a company can provide. You gotta also think about what you can provide to the company as well. You don't want to just go apply to a job and go, hey, I want to join, and they go, cool, what kind of qualifications can you offer for the job, and you got nothing, right? You want to be able to think about that. And thirdly, this is the most important. Read your contract. If you get to the point where you've passed all phases of the audition, and before you join, you are given a contract, look at that contract. If you can't get a lawyer's help, at least have a friend sit in with you while you read it out loud, word for word. It is so important. I would recommend getting a lawyer to read through a contract. Because I'm gonna be so honest, a lot of the agency dramas that have happened, like as of late, is always related to the contract, because people sign it and they think they know what they're signing up for, and they don't. And they might get trapped into a contract that they don't want to be in. And then whoops, oh no, do you want to leave? Looks like the IP that you joined in with us, you have to pay back out. Give us your money. And you can't leave until you pay that off. It's very predatory. I don't like saying this because I know friends that are in companies and friends that own companies. But it is imperative, and I guarantee you they're not going to be mad at me if they are legitimate. They would recommend that you read over that contract with a lawyer or a lawyer friend. If they are good people, they will recommend it. If a company goes like, oh yeah, just sign it, you don't need to read it, it's just a formality, don't sign that. Don't sign that. I've had so many friends fall prey to this. Don't do it. Don't. So many nightmare situations that I can recall. But yeah, those would be my top 3 tips for people that are looking to join a company.
Yeah, awesome. And I definitely fall into that category of people asking you about various companies, and yeah, you've always been very helpful about keeping an eye out for that. Of course. And last question I have, what do you think about the concept of in-house VTubers? Like the idea of a company or like the agency or whatever owning the actual IP and like all of that, and just auditioning people to essentially just play that character.
Honestly, it is something that has worked in the industry for a long time. And to me, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But of course, for people, a lot of people that are in the indie scene wanting to go corpo, sometimes you will be auditioning for roles that like, oh yeah, you have to graduate your VTuber, your current IP, to be able to take on a new IP. Or maybe you don't have to graduate your current IP, but you can't use it while you are playing this other IP that the company provides you. It is important that you realize that whatever brand that you built up before, scratch it. You're starting from ground zero, and you need to be able to know how to push yourself in the algorithm from ground zero. If you feel confidence in that, do it. Especially if you have a company backing you and supporting you along the way. But I know a lot of people, they're attached to their own IPs. I know I am. If I were to ever look to join a company, one of the things I'd be looking for is, okay, do I get to keep my IP?
Right.
That is exceptionally important to me. And that's also why I will probably never audition for a role that would have me play a different character. I am me, and I don't think I can be anything else. But if you think you can do it, by all means do it. Just remember that IP is not yours. If you have to graduate, you will have to start from ground zero again. So be prepared for that.
Yeah. All right. That is all of my questions that I have. As per,
let's go.
As per usual in this time of the show, I like to hand the proverbial interviewer mic over to my guests and allow them to ask me any questions they might have.
Ooh, okay. Given all of the new information that you have learned from me, what do you personally think about, because this is also something that I found rather interesting in a question that you asked. How do you feel about companies as a whole in the VTubing scene? I know a lot of people have very mixed feelings about companies right now, but of course there are good and bad eggs, but I want to see how you feel about them.
I think overall it seems like it is something that, at least for myself, who is kind of who finds, while that I do have like a simple show idea and I have this this concept that I have allows me to kind of do things in a way that is a bit easier for me to manage than just like trying to find things to stream every single day or whatever, or stuff like that. I do think being able to work for and with a company would increase that sort of ease on what I have to do day to day, specifically because I work full time. I think if I was already like a creator who had some amount of like established presence, I would consider I would be less, I guess, considerate of potentially working for an agency. But I think where I'm at right now, it is a lot more appealing and also a lot more interesting as something to kind of lighten the load a little bit for that. Also, the folks that I have talked to that I've been in agencies have, which is a little. This might not be like indicative of that, but they have all spoken very positively about the agency they work in. And they have been nothing but like super pleasant and super like awesome to like work with, and I think that kind of like environment, or like being able to work in like a group, is also very appealing to me. But obviously with like a company as like big as VShojo kind of like crashing and burning in the way that it did, and like there's all sorts of like different like dramas around like companies like Niji Sanji and like stuff like that. There's like this idea that they are like fallible, which it also could be like the size of the companies that is the issue, but it's still like it's putting some doubt that working for an agency isn't like this like free ticket into like getting into like easy street. But
I'm glad that a lot of people are realizing it now. Everybody kind of viewed joining an agency to be the end all be all. If you were to really break down what an agency could provide for you, and good agencies would put all that information in public on their website. Don't trust an agency that does not put what they could offer their talents publicly, because that's kind of shady. If you break down everything, like, sometimes at most you really need is like a manager. Sometimes at most what you may need is like a group. Because I thought I had to think long and hard throughout my journey, being indie then corpo then indie then corpo. I have given a lot of thought about what I really wanted in a working environment as a VTuber. And personally, what I desire the most is like two different things. One, consistently edited videos, which I am on the track of doing right now. It's very difficult to maintain it, but I am doing right now. And two, is being able to work in a group environment where I can collaborate with like-minded individuals. And that I can already do in a group.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm just like, why, unless a company is willing to offer me more than that, and it's something that I cannot personally do, I won't even give it a second thought anymore. And I'm glad that a lot of people are realizing that now, because it makes the space a little bit more inviting. I know people will look at you differently if you're part of a company. That's kind of just how it is. That's the norm, especially if you're part of a good company.
Yeah.
Reputation will precede you in a good company. But of course, now I'm just really happy seeing that a lot of people are realizing that being in a corpo is not not necessarily the ideal, the final straw, the end all be all of your worth. You can make it as an indie. It's just a little bit harder. And as long as you're able and accepting of that, it makes the ride there that much smoother. But yeah. I'm trying to think of questions. I'm drawing a blank.
You didn't think ahead of time?
I know so much about you already. I have thought about it ahead of time, but I know so much about you already. Oh, actually, this is a good question to ask, especially on the show right now. What are your future plans for Sketchalog?
Well, I mean, like, specifically for Sketchalog, I think it's... I'd like to think that it's difficult to make plans for the show, just because it's a whole thing of almost relying on, definitely relying on other like content creators for like coming on the show and whatnot. I mean, ideally, I'd like this to keep like growing and growing and kind of be. I never want to say this out loud just because it's like it feels so like boasty, and also just like my hubris is gonna come back on me for it. But I want this to kind of be like the almost VTuber Hot Ones in a way. I think that it is something that I want like people to I guess like it's something that like I want it to be kind of like almost a household name in a way, where it's like a thing of did you see the new Sketchalog episode, or did you I really want to like people going in other people's chats and be like, Sanagi Yuzu, you should go on Sketchalog or something like that, that kind of thing. I think it is it is incredibly difficult to try and pinpoint where things should go with the show. Like, I think I've had like ideas before to like, maybe if like the person I'm having on is like a specialist in like a certain kind of medium, I could try and like replicate that, or like if like someone's like a 3D artist, I could try and like do like a stream where I'm like interviewing them and like making a thing in Blender or something like that. I don't know, but like without being able to reliably know who I'm having on the show, it's kind of difficult to say. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at in terms of like plans for this show. I mean,
Okay.
ideally I'd like to keep doing it just like forever, just like get every possible like VTuber just on the show at like one point or another, but like specifics, I think it's difficult to say.
Okay. No, I completely get it. Do you have one dream guest in particular?
Um, the I think the that's tricky.
Yeah.
I think probably like the um I think the guest I would want the most on the show is probably Milky Ways.
Okay.
I feel like she's just a very like super like inspiring and just like just got like nice presence, and I just really want to talk to her. I think the one that is least likely to happen is probably Raura Pantera from Hololive. Just because I feel like they keep those ladies under lock and key, basically.
Oh yeah, it will be very difficult to collab with either of those unless you're already in their circle.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
do believe it can happen though. I think it's a really nice dream to have, especially with a show like this.
Yeah, I think like some close seconds behind Milky are Porcelain Maid, Tsunagi Yuzu, and Starway. I think those are the three that are like just behind her. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, those are really good choices. We should play a party game sometime. What party games are you into?
I mean, I love Peak. I'm like basically begging people to like do Peak collabs with me. I'm trying to think of what else. I haven't played RV there yet, but it seems like it could be a fun time.
Have you heard of a game called Mimesis?
I have not.
It is like a Lethal Company kind of game, but the mechanics are solely based around mimicry. And I hear it's really fun. I was gifted the game by one of my friends and also another one of my clients. We should have a game night. When I have more free time, we should all have like a little family game night. I think
Yeah,
it'd be
absolutely.
really fun.
Just
I think Mimesis is currently on sale too.
Yeah, I mean, give me the day. I always say that to people. Like, just give me the day and I'll be there.
Absolutely. What's your favorite movie?
It's always between two. It's always between Hot Fuzz and the first Muppet movie.
Okay, yeah, I can understand. Yep. I get it. Man, what is my favorite movie? Oh geez, I think I'll have to swap between my 3 comfort movies. 2 of them are very similar. One is clearly not anywhere similar to the other 2, but it would be, I think it would have to be a toss up between Real Steel, Pacific Rim, and Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, okay. I definitely see the one that's the odd one out there.
They're my vibes. Crazy Rich Asians is a very nice comfort movie for me. Obviously, I do come from that kind of lifestyle, and it's nice to be able to see all the problems, but also some of the nice stuff part of it. And then I love robot fighting kaiju. I like robots fighting robots. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah. I mean, as you could probably tell with mine, I just love a good, like, funny movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a nice little funny, heartfelt kind of movies. Those are nice. Oh, that being said, Christmas is around the corner. Do you have any particular, like, ritualistic Christmas movies to watch?
Oh, it's always Muppet Christmas Carol. That's always...
Okay,
It
I
has
kinda
to be that
figured.
one. Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah. An incidental one is A Christmas Story, but that's just because when we will go over to my grandmother's house, and my dad will always put on the, like, 24-hour just, like, marathon where they just only play The Christmas Story. And, yeah, he, like... I don't think he gets drunk, but he definitely gets in, like, a mood, which is very funny, and he's just kind of, like, riffing the whole time, and I think that's also very funny to me.
I think for me, it would have to be the Polar Express. I grew up watching the Polar Express. I think I'm always gonna watch the Polar Express. And then I think now I like recently added Klaus onto my repertoire of ritualistic Christmas movies. Klaus made me ugly cry. Yeah, and I'm like a huge sap, so I cry at a lot of things very easily. Yeah. Do I have any? I don't think I do. Do I have any more? No, I don't.
Do you want to copy some of the ones from the show? I mean, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. I feel like I know a lot of these answers because because I'm your manager. Okay.
Oh yeah, the Gossamer says the claymation movies, like the Rankin Bass Christmas movies, also pretty good.
Yes, my husband loves those. Those are his ritualistic Christmas movies.
Yep. We watched me and my I try to host a Christmas movie marathon every, like, around Christmas time, where I get all my friends to come over and we like everyone picks like a movie and we kind of do like a roulette of which ones we watch. And I think it was 2020. We Year Without a Santa Claus was one of the ones that got picked, and we just called it we only refer to it as Santa Got COVID from now on. Because, like, that's the plot, is that, like, Santa gets sick and he can't, like, do Christmas. So yeah, now it's just now that movie is just called Santa Got COVID, and it has yeah.
What unfortunate timing.
Right?
Yeah, exceptionally unfortunate. You know what? Artist question. When did you start doing art and why?
So this is always this is like my like the question I get the most, I think, when it comes to, like, from people who don't I not say don't do art, but like there's the one I get the most, and it's always interesting to me because, like, I've always done art. It's always been a thing of something that I have just done. I think, did I post? I didn't. I found, like, some old, like, crayon drawings from back when I was in, like, first grade, when I was, like, kind of getting stuff ready to move. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, like, this is just, like, I've always been kind of just doing this. And I think it is interesting to hear the question, because I don't think I've ever had a time when I didn't want to, like, do art or, like, didn't want to draw. But I think, yeah, I think that's
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a question. Okay, are you aware of what a closed species is? Around, perhaps, in the DeviantArt era of closed species.
I know I wasn't, like, I wasn't around for that time, but I do know what a closed species is. It's kind of like a thing of someone made up this like a species, and like they basically have like they're the only ones who can make something from that, essentially. I know because I've been speaking to a someone who makes like quite a few of them. He's the one who made Luxombras, if that's a like familiar name to you at all.
It does sound familiar.
Yeah, it's the guy's name is King of Dawn. But he has like a whole like Discord server, and it has like a bunch of like parameters for making one, and it's like it's a whole big thing. But yeah, I am familiar with the concept.
Okay. All right. How do you feel about them?
I think it's I think if you do it the way that he does it, where it's kind of like it is open, but there is sort of like a path to getting into it. I think it's interesting. I think it's a little weird to kind of like privatize like an artistic idea in a way. I know that there is like copyright and stuff like that, but I think like to me anyway, closed species always seemed a bit more like less official than that, like than just like doing like a copyright thing. I don't know if that's if they actually are like getting lawyers involved in like closed species stuff, but
most of them don't.
Yeah, I think it's a little strange, but I understand why people feel like they have to do it. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, and I think it's odd, but it is their prerogative to do that.
My personal opinion on closed species, at the very least, with what I saw and what I personally experienced when they were around, was and now that I look back on it, I think this is kind of funny. To me, closed species were NFTs before NFTs were a thing.
Yeah, that is kind of what that is, huh?
It kind of, like, if you were to, like, look at the parallels, it's like, oh, I did this drawing, and this character is mine, and you can't make anything like it. You cannot make, like, a demon cat species. It's mine, and it's original, and you can't do it. If you do it, I'm gonna get the DeviantArt mods to ban you. And if you want to make one, you gotta pay me money.
Yeah. Very
Which
strange.
Was a lot of the closed species experiences that I've had. I wish it weren't the case. I think closed species were fun. For a small period of time, I was in that community for a small bit when I was young and naive. But, like, I feel that, creativity is creativity. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not, like, legally copywriting it. Why lord that over people,
Yeah, it just seems like you're kind of asking people to make stuff of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and that's not necessary.
Yeah, I hope nobody takes my idea of my closed species. It would be such a shame if somebody made art of this.
It would be horrible if somebody liked what I did. I hope nobody likes it, so nobody copies it. It's all for me.
Yeah, exactly. Very strange.
Oh, and definitely unrelated question to literally anything that we've been doing so far. What do you have a favorite gemstone, and if so, what is it?
Not really, no. I think to me, like that whole thing seems like it's very much just like what's your favorite color. Like, obviously, I know they form differently and stuff like that, but I feel like you could feasibly cut a gemstone to be like whatever like shape you want it to be.
Yeah.
So to me, it's
as long as you have, like, the size for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it seems like it's a thing of like just picking your favorite color and then getting like your favorite color and like your favorite shape. I mean, not to say that I don't. I mean, I guess like, oh god damn it.
That's true. I simply ask because I have the rocktism.
Yeah,
I collect rocks.
I'm sorry to disappoint you on my lack of enthusiasm.
I think you would like Alexandrite.
Is it
specifically because it is both green and purple?
I was gonna say, is it because it's my name?
What?
Yeah. Xander?
Okay. You know, okay, alright, I guess that's fair. I thought you were gonna dox her. Don't do that. I, as your manager, don't do that. But Alexandrite's really cool. It's a nice color. Both purple and green. I think it would fit you very well. All right. I do have another question, I suppose. Who, like, okay, if you were to get another outfit for your VTuber model, what would it be?
It would be a I think I would want. Okay, so I have this idea for kind of like a formal sort of like Wild West gunslinger outfit.
That's a cool one.
Oh, damn it. Do I have... I guess I can just open it. Hold on. I had the idea of, like, kind of end of last year, beginning of this year. I don't remember exactly when. Let me double check, because I'm looking at my folders right now. Yeah, mid to late last year, I had the idea of rebranding. And going with a sort of more like kind of he was gonna be like a magical gunslinger kind of character, but I have kind of I like the aesthetic. I like the sort of like formal wear that's also kind of like a bit more like rugged in a way, and this is kind of like the closest thing I have to like making a concept for it. Like, vest, like, sort of kerchief kind of neck thing, and then, like, rolled up sleeves.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see that. Okay, that actually looks really nice.
Yeah. I think it could be good. Unfortunately, I just don't have the dosh to get a new outfit done for myself.
I understand that feeling so well.
Yeah. Also, both my model and the 2.0 model I have don't have naked bases, so it would be very, very difficult to get outfits for them.
Yeah, that's another thing that I tell a lot of people. You want your model to last as long as possible, so getting like a naked base, even if it doesn't have the parts, you don't need the parts, guys. You just need like a base because you want your model to be reusable. Then you can like get a new like outfit rigged, and you just get an outfit rigged. It's like a lot of longevity stuff that most people probably wouldn't think about when they first jump into VTubing.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a lot of VTubing culture stuff. I don't expect a lot of people that just start out to know. It's just something that you kind of pick up along the way, you know?
Yeah. I think also, it was pretty funny, actually. I think right after I had gotten this model made, I saw, like, an Iron Mouse clip, and she was talking about how, like, that's what she does for her, like, all of her models, is that she has them, like, have, like, the base. And I'm like, shit. I should have done that, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people, it's definitely a hindsight kind of deal.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what that is, YGF.
Yep.
You just it is, which is why we're like my main model. That's why I had this base. It was so easy to get this like new outfit and new hairstyle rigged on.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta think about that kind of stuff when you get into the VTubing space. Is there anything that you wish you would have done earlier, as a VTuber right now?
I yes, but I think I would have. Well, obviously, the thing with this model, because I do love this model a lot. I also think that I would, yeah, I would have liked to have more of that. I think also I would have liked to just fucking stuck with it. Because I did not do that, and I had a lot of time that if I had stuck with it, I probably would have been in a very not like an amazing spot, but a much better spot than where I am kind of starting right now.
I think I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, I do feel for that.
Because like I think I told you I got this model in 2023, like early 2023, and I just didn't like stream at all like the second half of that year and then all of 2024.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, like, I didn't have like this, like the direction that I have now, but still it would have been like something instead of nothing.
I do definitely understand where you're coming from. On one hand, I'm like, if you have no direction, there's no point in making content because nobody wants to watch somebody not having a good time. I've told you that. But on the other hand, especially if you're trying to make this a career, like even just doing like a small short stream would have probably been beneficial. But I do understand where you come from, though. It definitely is a major balancing act, so I do empathize. I was that way, like granted I was forced to take a hiatus because of my frickin' motherboard. But if that was like more self-inflicted and I needed to introspect on what I wanted my content to be, I would also be facing that struggle as well, you know?
Yeah.
And it definitely is an instance of, oh, you stopped making content, now you have to catch up on that grind again. And a lot of people don't really realize that the content never really stops. Like even when I went on vacation, the content never did stop. I just scheduled things ahead of time.
Yeah. And also, you still have me and the rest of your like management.
Yeah, exactly. I was
just like
still
bugging you the whole time.
Management stuff. I mean, I welcomed the bugging. Honestly, it was a very welcome break. And I still did work while I was on vacation. Like I would have to like pull away and go like, all right, guys, need to sit down with my really small iPad to try and do some work. It never really stopped. Like as a whole. A lot of people don't actually realize that. They just think that like, oh, they exist on twitch.tv and that's about it. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that. And that's why a lot of people tend to want to drop out after trying for it because they get tired. Because there is so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, honestly. I don't think I really have many other questions for you.
Okay. I know I have one kind of management, sort of a question, kind of more of a, I guess a subtle way of like plugging yourself. But pause. But it's a thing of how would you kind of explain to others, like kind of how would you sort of like pitch your services to folks, just like in like an elevator pitch kind of way?
Management may not be for everybody, but management, if you require it, can boost your career. If only for the fact that sometimes people have no direction. Sometimes people are a little confused. Sometimes they have too many directions and they don't know where to go. A manager can help streamline that process and make you work efficiently while allowing some lifting of the burden so that you don't have to worry about all the small little things like going through your analytics, figuring out what's good and what's not good, looking for opportunities, looking for things that would be most beneficial to you, and looking at your content from a genuine third-person perspective and getting actual critique, which I find is very much short supply. So I suppose that would be what I would pitch as a manager, and what I feel most managers should be able to offer their clients.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, and if you don't have any more questions for me, we can wrap up this interview. Would you like to? This is your. You have the floor to plug to tell people where they can find you. If you have any codes, any links, anything like that, you can say I'm here. You know, that sort of thing. Let them fly.
I think honestly the only thing is that I am live on Tuesday, back with more Pokemon Yellow. If you want to get a Pokemon named after you, you should check out that stream. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys will stick around for more episodes, because I've seen I get behind the scenes looks. I know all the guests that are going to be coming up. Everybody in the server for this event knows the guests that are going to be coming up. And honestly, I'm really excited. I like lurking. I like peeking in like a little stalker. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the sketchalog. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I also like to ask my guests if they have anybody they would recommend raiding into.
Ooh, to raid into? Let's see. Well, I know that a pal of mine is currently live right now, Zion Z. I will send you their username. There you go. I would also recommend Zion to this show. Let me just DM this username to you. They're currently partner pushing right now. And they're playing Voices of the Void for the first time.
All right. Yeah, be sure to give them a very warm sketchalog hello, and thank you all for joining us. And I'll see you next time.
All right, see you guys. Have fun.